Hello guys, welcome back to this channel and thanks for viewing this video. Today we will discuss on the Java string format method, which we can use to format a string. Actually, we can use this method to perform many operations like, for example, joining strings and formatting the output of the strings that are being joined. In this video, we will have a look at some examples on how to use this method. So the first example will be on how to use the format method to convert values of certain types into strings and then joining these strings. So let us start with the first example. We will start by declaring a string variable. I will say string name. And in here, I will write the name. I will say Brandon Cole. For example, this is just a name as an example. And since this method returns a string, we will declare a string variable that we will use to store the value returned whenever this method is evaluated. So I will say string format, and then here I'm going to call my method. So this is how you call the format method. You write string dot the name of the method format, and inside I'm going to write this string my name is, and I will write this argument here and close. And in the argument, I'm going to write the name of my string variable like this. So after this one, let us do a System.out.println. And in here, I'm going to do string format, okay? Because I want to output the result of the evaluation of my this statement of my method. So if I run, I get my name is Brandon Cole. Okay, the output in the console is showing my name is Brandon Cole. As you can notice, the strings have been joined. Okay, this first string and then this string here has been joined thanks to this argument position that we have put here. So this percentage symbol and S here is used to pass the string variable name, to pass the string that is being stored in our argument here. Okay, so what it has done is that my name is, and this here, this argument position is going to pass the value stored in this string variable. So that's why we are getting my name is Brandon Cole. So this is how you write the argument position for the strings. If you want to pass other variable types, like for example an integer value, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how you can do that. First of all you can do is, for example, you write in here, instead of writing name, I'm going to write 18, okay? And I'm going to change my age is, so since 18 is an integer, so instead of writing percentage symbol S, because this is for string values, I'm going to write percentage symbol D. So this is how you specify the argument position for an integer value. So you will see that if I run, I will get my age is 18. Yeah, my age is 18. So percentage symbol D is representing the argument position that will be used to pass integers values. Okay, so this 18 here is as an argument, and this argument position is used to pass the integer value that we are using as the argument in our method. If we are using floating point number, for example, what we're going to use, for example, if we are using, I would say, for example, my height is 1.8. So this is a decimal number. It can be a decimal number of type float. So if it is of type float, I'm going to write percentage symbol F here as the argument position. So this argument position is going to be used to pass the value that we are using as our argument here. And if I run this, you see my height is 1.800. So it has formatted my floating, my decimal number by putting a couple of zeros, by adding a couple of figures at its decimal part. Okay, so if it's you want to pass a character, for example, you are going to use percentage symbol C. Okay, and then for character, you need to put that inside a single quotation. For example, we can say A here. I can change rapidly here. The character we are passing is, okay, so you see the character we are passing is A. So this argument position is going to pass this character A that we put as an argument in our method here. So this is actually how you can, as you can see, it has been joining the strings and also formatting the strings and passing the arguments, you know, and doing a lot of operations. So the next example I want to show you will be on how to play around formatting arguments. So we're going to take some other example. I would declare a decimal number. I would say double height 1.8 like this. And since the format method returns a string, so I'm going to declare a string, and I will use that string variable to store the value that is returned whenever our method is evaluated. So this is how I call my method: String.format, open the brackets, and I will say my height is, and in here I'm going to use the percentage symbol 0.4f, and then here I will say height. So as you see, height here is my decimal number variable, my double variable that I'm using here. Okay, and then if I run, let me first do a System.out.println, and I will say string format. Okay, string format, this string format variable here that is storing the returned value whenever my my method is evaluated. If I run, you will see I get my height is 1.8600. So what has happened is that the output in the console is showing my height is 1.8600. Notice that our decimal number format has changed because of what we specified in the argument position here. Percentage symbol 0.4ff, which means that the decimal number being stored in my height variable is being formatted to have 4 figures at its decimal part. Okay, you see if I remove the 0.4 here and run, I'll get like 6 figures, okay, at the decimal part. But if I put 0.4 here and run, I'm going to get 4 figures. So this is like playing around the argument position by putting 0.4, or if I put 0.3, for example, I will get 3 figures at the decimal part of my decimal number. So that's actually another example I can give is going to be, for example, if I declare an integer here and I call it number, and I say I initialize it by giving it the value of 28, and then I will say my age is 06V. Okay, and then here I'll say number. So as I showed you in the previous example, if I want to pass an argument which is of type integer, I need to write percentage symbol D, okay, as my argument position. Okay, like if I run like this, you see my age is 28 because 28 is the value being stored here. So like if I want to format this value 28 here, and I can, for example, write 606 here and then run, you will see here it has changed. What has happened? Okay, so this percentage symbol 06D formatted the integer value stored in the variable number by adding zeros at the beginning of the integer value so that it will be made up of 6 figures. Okay, initially it was 28, only 2 figures or 2 characters making up this number, and now because we specified 06 here to tell our method to format this number being stored in the variable number to be made up of 6 characters by adding zeros to this integer value. So that's why we are having 6 characters now making up our integer value, and then it has added zeros to that number so that it is going to be made up of 6 characters. So that's also one way you can play around these argument positions in order to format your values, your integer, your strings in a different way. I can take like the last example here. I will use string values. I'm going to declare 2 strings. String 1, now I'm going to say my string here, and then I will say string 2, str2. I'm going to say nice one as my string here, and in here what I'm going to write is going to be these are my strings. Okay, semicolon, and I'm going to say percentage symbol $1 S. So you know that percentage symbol S is when we want to pass string values. Okay, so here is a variation, and we want to format the string values that we are going to pass. So by adding this, and after that I can do a semicolon, a comma, excuse me, and percentage sign $1. I'll do $2 percentage $1 S. And here I'm going to add two arguments, and these arguments are going to be my two string variables I just declare that for str1, str2, and then I run. You will see that it will say these are my strings. Sorry, there's a typo here. It says these are my strings, my string, nice one, my string. Let me change this. So these are my strings, my string, nice one, my string. So my string is the first string, nice one is the second string, my string is the first string. So what has happened here is that these, okay, the percentage sign $1 S are specifying the argument positions. Okay, and so this percentage symbol $1 S is referring to the first string. So that means that whenever the method sees this here, it's going to actually return, it's going to output the value stored in the first string. And whenever it sees percentage symbol $2 S, it's going to output the value stored in the second string. So that's why you can see here we have the value stored in the first string, because we have here percentage symbol $1 S. We have the value stored in the second string here, and because we have a $2, we have the percentage symbol $2 S. Okay, and see, for example, if we change argument str2 here and then put str1 and run, you now see that we are having nice one, my string, nice one. So it all depends on how you place your arguments here. So if you say that your first argument is str1, so that means that by putting percentage sign $1 S here, it's going to consider it as being the value stored in your first argument, which is str2 here. That's why we have nice one here, my string, nice one. And then this one is the second argument, and the value stored in the second argument is going to be outputted whenever the method is going to see the percentage symbol $2 S here. That's what we are having here. So it all depends on how you place your arguments here, that these various values are going to be outputted in our console here. So guys, that was it concerning the format method, the Java string format method. I hope this video was informative, and please don't forget to like this video and also subscribe to this channel. and let's meet in the next video. Take care.